use the formula A equals LW to find the missing side length of each rectangle below given the area. So we're going to be given the area. Show your working and set out your working as you have in class. Okay, so let's use that formula. I'll rewrite it. A equals LW. Now that means area equals length times width. So to use this formula, all we need to do is to substitute what we know into the formula and then solve. So we know what the area is, we're given that, that's 30. So instead of writing A, we just write 30. We find the length, looks like that's X, and we know the width, looks like that's 5. So now we simplify that. X times 5 is 5x. And now it starts to look like a one-step algebra problem. 30 equals 5x. So we need to isolate the x. So how do we do that? We get rid of multiply by 5. How do we cancel out multiplying by 5? We divide by 5. We do that on both sides of the equation. And so what we're left with, this cancels out. Multiplied by 5 divided by 5 cancels out. We're left with x, which is what we want. And on the left-hand side, 30 divided by 5, that's 6. So just for formatting's sake, we should put the variable on the left and its value on the right. We are using centimeters, so include the unit of measurement, and that should be correct. Should do a quick check, and the way to check is, let's pretend we don't know what the area is, so A equals LW. The next line is A equals, we know the length, because the length is, we thought it was x, x equals 6, so we think the length is 6. The width we were given, which was 5, and so area equals 6 times 5 is 30. Is that the area we were given? It was, therefore x equals 6 is correct. So the next one over here, same process. I'll rewrite the formula, A equals length times width, okay? And all we do is substitute what we know. So instead of A, we're given A is 23.56. So let's put that into the formula. 23.56 equals, what's the length? Well, the length is x. And what's the width? The width is 6.2. And then we simplify all that. So 23.56. X times 6.2 is 6.2x. And now we can solve this particular equation. So we want to get rid of 6.2 because that will leave us with x, and we want to end with x equaling a value. So how do we get rid of 6.2 times x? So times 6.2, we divide by 6.2. We've got to do that to both sides. So multiplied by 6.2 divided by 6.2 cancels out. So that means on the right hand side we're left with x, which is what we want. And on the left hand side, 23.56 divided by 6.2. 23.56 divided by 6.2 equals 3.8. So 3.8. So for formatting's sake, we should put the variable on the left and its value on the right, 3.8. Make sure we're using the correct units of measurement. We're using centimeters. And so that is the solution. For the last one, let's do the same process. We have A equals length times width. Let's substitute for A. We know what A's value is. It's 20.37. What's the length? The length is 9.7. And the width, we don't know. That's x. Next line is 20.37 equals 9.7 times x. So we don't know the value of x, so that becomes 9.7x. Okay, so now we can solve. We want to cancel out multiplying by 9.7, so we divide by 9.7, and we do that to both sides. Multiply by 9.7, divide by 9.7, that cancels out. So we're left with x, which is what we want. And on the left-hand side, 20.37 divided by 9.7. So again, let's use our calculator. let's see, 20.37 divided by 9.7, and that leaves us with 2.1. So we now know that x equals 2.1. We should put the variable on the left and its value on the right. And what's the unit of measurement? It's meters this time. And this is the solution.